Hey, I'm Aaron from GameEnthus.com. In this video, I'm talking about the card shedding game, Cabanga. Cabanga is from Modler with art from Kreativbunker. It's also been published by Amigo games. Playable from 3 to 6 players, around ages 8 and up, and plays in about, checkbox, 20 minutes. Cabanga means to think in the southern Bantu language Zulu, and plays pretty much like this. Okay, this is what a setup for Cabanga could look like. The gray cards are called starter cards. These are called row cards because things are in rows of colors: blue, red, purple, yellow. And everybody gets 8 cards. The 8 cards everybody gets are just number cards. So on your turn, you're doing one basic thing. You are taking a card from your hand and you are placing it within the range created. So the range for yellow is 7 to 14. The range for purple is 3 to 18. The range for red is 5 to 16. And the range for blue is 12 to 1. It doesn't matter what side. 1 and 12 and 12 to 1 are basically the same. The idea is you want to place down a card from your hand that minimizes the range. So let's take a look here what I have. Okay, so let's say I have this 14. If I put the 14 here, now the range, ooh, flip it over. Usually a stickler for that too when we're playing. Now the range is from 12 to 14, which is decreased. Which is much less than the range of 1 to 12. You wouldn't want to put the 14 here because now the range is from 1 to 14. So that's what you do. You are just placing a card onto one of the spaces here. You're going to cover up all the starter numbers. It's literally what it is. It's just to start. These are going to be covered up many times over. You might think, hey, put a 5 here, but then the range is still 5 to 16. I probably don't really want that. You could also do this. So let's say I do that. So now the range for yellow is 12 to 14. Now you created the range of 12 to 13. So your turn is pretty much over. One of your opponents could yell out Cabanga if they have a card for that row that is within the range that you left by placing your card. So if somebody had a 13 yellow, they could yell out Cabanga, toss it over to me, and now I would have to go into the deck that for whatever reason wasn't in frame, and for however many cards your opponents give to you because of the range you just created, you have to take that many cards from the deck and then add them to your hand. So I'd only be adding 1. But if I created a range and let's say everybody at the table had a card in that range and they all said Cabanga and threw a card at me, I have to take 1 card from the deck for every card that they throw. And by throw, I mean they don't literally have to throw it, actually. They have to give it to you. So I only have the 1, so I have to take this 1 and that goes into my hand, and then this would just go into a discard pile. It's the next player's turn. So the next player might take a look around, and let's say they have a red 4. So now the range they've created is 4 to 5. Pretty much impossible for someone to come in and say Cabanga and create a scenario where they're given a card because of the range they just created and have to draw more cards. The overall goal of the game is to get rid of all your cards. And that's what a round is. Once one person runs out of cards entirely, everybody counts up all of the... It's like cowrie shells, honestly, to me. But so let me just show you how that would work. So let's say at the end of a round, I didn't really have a great round, and these are the cards I had left in my hand. I will count up. This is a 2, a 3, a 1, and a 2. So that would be 5. That would be 8. And these are all negative points. So the cards that are left in your hand, you just count up how many of the shells are on them, these icons, and then that's the number of negative points that you have, that you carry into the next round. And you want to have the most points. So you want to get rid of your cards, and you're trying to, so if you get rid of all your cards, you don't have any cards with negative numbers, theoretically. If you play your last card, somebody can still say Cabanga, it can still give you cards based on the range you created, and you would have negative points then, but the round still ends. Somebody would tally that up, and You would play until someone reaches negative 18 points. Once someone hits negative 18 points, whoever has the most points, or if the rules oddly state the least negative points, because everybody's pretty much going to be in the negative. I don't know how you couldn't. That player wins the game. So it's still most points, but it's the least negative points. One thing I did forget to mention is when you play the same color as the player who just went. So let's say somebody played that on their turn, and it's the next player's turn. If someone else played that, they're supposed to take a penalty card for playing the same color as the player who just played before. That's a rule that I kind of forgot about when we first started playing, and then everybody seemed to be enjoying it, and I was reluctant to mention, oh yeah, by the way. So I didn't, but that is a rule that I haven't forgot it just now, so I had to record again. Small little penalty for playing the same color as a player who just went before you. So something to remember, but you didn't hear it from me, but house rules are a thing. And that is basically how you play Cabanga. So as you can see, Cabanga is a pretty lightweight card game that's very approachable. I've taught this game to many people, taught this game to people who are fairly seasoned in life, which is a nice way of saying they're a little bit older, and some very, very young people as well. And all seem to enjoy it, and I did as well. It's a very fun, lighthearted game. It's very approachable, not to be taken too seriously, as you only have control and agency over so much. I really like Cabanga. It's something I often reach for when I'm playing with people who play a lot of games, as well as those who don't. I feel like it just fits in well with kind of everyone. It's kind of one of those games where it could sit right next to a game like Uno, where you can pretty much teach to almost anyone and have a good time. If you lose, you lose. If you win, that's fine too. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up Cabanga. It's not very heavy. My arm is not tired. I don't think. I don't know. I dig. It's a fun game. You should pick it up. That's Cabanga. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and be blessed.